Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Directional Influence. I'm Punishment Divine, and as not always, but as many of our older viewers may remember, I have two other special people here with me. I have Dakota, aka Rapture. How are you, Dakota?
I'm alright. I'm good. How about you?
I'm alright. And we've got Will, aka Will.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Well, that was the worst. Like, you're not even from the South.
Listen, I'm from Canada as of this past weekend.
That's
okay?
which isn't South.
Listen.
That's even more North.
I could be from wherever I want to be. I was just helping this Georgian family with some like census/family tree or something, and they all sounded like Craig, and it was really funny.
Kadaj?
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. So, and if you so allow me to continue, this is episode 55, Directional Influence, and it is a special episode, as we'll talk about later. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm sure you've been spoiled already if you haven't been. Don't cry. But we are going to talk about Revival of Salt, which I know Will went to, and I thought Matt went to, but apparently he did not. But and then we have other stuff to talk about, so we'll get right into that. So this past weekend was Revival of Salt, was it not, in Canada? Will, tell me about that event.
Well, it was really crazy, and it pretty much, a lot of it has to do with our commute there, which was interesting, because I know that T.O. Joe actually paid for a couple of bus tickets for, I think it was like the first 2 or 3 people that hit him up. Like, he just straight up paid for their megabus tickets. I think it was like Black and Knees, Doom was actually one of them, and I think someone from the MDVA got on one of their megabuses for free, but it might have been Logic. But it was really cool. The megabus actually overcame my expectations, because I didn't know that there would be like outlets and free Wi-Fi and shit. So that was pretty cool. And that kept us entertained for the 10-hour bus ride, something like that, somewhere around 10 hours.
Damn, 10 hours. That's
kind of ridiculous, but it's actually pretty fun when you're riding with like Vinny, Black and Ease, Doom. Like, I don't know. If it was just by myself, it would have been torture. So props to Ally for always doing that to himself. Like, I can't even imagine this guy traveling around the country on bus rides like that so often. Like, he's got to just be used to it, and he just sleeps through it or something.
He must talk to himself. Like I would at like the 7 hour mark, I would have been like having a conversation with myself at that point. Because I remember when I was younger, I had a hockey tournament to go to in Canada, and we drove like 10 hours. And there were some points I really debated just like going out like a debate with myself. But I did have Paper Mario on the GameCube in like our van on like an adapter. That was hype. 1,000 Year Door. Such a good game.
I love that game.
Oof. So so how about the competition there?
All right, so actually after it was a 17-hour trip, all combined with all the public trans, including trains and like cars and everything. Crazy stuff. When we got there, we were housed by Mr. L, I believe, as was one of the houses, and M Prime was the other house. They were like about 5 to 10 minute walk from each other, which was really cool. And they were also 5-10 minutes from the venue. So props to those guys. Thank you guys so much for housing us. Like, if it wasn't for you guys, our experience would have suffered like a lot, because we would have had to pay for a hotel and everything. So we got free housing from those guys, so that was amazing. And the venue, let me tell you about this venue, man. Like, imagine, first of all, the culture shock for me was everything in Canada, all the giant billboards that you see, like every advertisement has like some hockey player on it. Like, anything that's being advertised has some hockey star on it. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And so the venue that we go to, believe it or not, it was actually part of a huge, like, it was an arena. And there was like 2 or 3 like ice hockey, like actual rinks attached to this giant arena. And the place where we had the tournament was a sports bar. I think Joe may have put a video up of it on YouTube somewhere. I didn't actually know that until afterward, but imagine just like a sports bar with a room attached to it with just a million tube TVs in there. So basically, I paid for 1 Pepsi for the entire day and got free refills the rest of the day.
Oh,
It was really legit.
Yeah, but you got Pepsi though. That shit sucks.
I know. I didn't eat anything either, and that was also. I think it's gonna be. I'm dropping soda straight up. It's a bold statement, but after that day, I didn't eat anything the whole day, and I had 9 Pepsis. And I felt the worst that I've ever felt in my entire life, and that just convinced me that I don't want to drink soda ever again. I felt like I did after the entirety of the Apex weekend at the end of one day. So, just I don't know. We'll see how I do with that. But so this tournament, shout outs to VG Bootcamp, who were a bunch of familiar faces when we got there. Matthew and Calvin Lofton, those dudes doing it big, as well as Gimmer. Bionic wasn't there, unfortunately, but the stream was still amazing. I'm not sure if there was Wi-Fi within the venue itself or if they recorded it and uploaded it afterward. But either way, I know there's going to be like YouTube videos up of it and everything. So the stream was really legit, and there was a whole bunch of other Canadian players. Imagine this, Dakota.
Yeah.
You remember the first like big tournament you walked into? What was it, like one of the Poly Brawls?
I think it was Poly Brawl. I want to say 4 or 5, whatever the last one was.
Well, imagine just being able to walk into a room with about that many people and not knowing any of them all over again. Like, that's what happened. It was so cool. Like, that does not happen when you've played the game for this long. So I would definitely like recommend, if any of you guys want to like keep it fresh or just like spice things up, go to something out of region at least, or out of country definitely, because I met like so many new people. It was crazy. And a lot of them are really funny. And you guys will find out on the commentary, because I know a bunch of Canadians got on that. So
Were the Nova Scotia guys there?
Nova Scotia drove 19 hours.
Oh, they were there. Those guys are the best.
From Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, a 5-man carpool. They stopped over in Quebec, which is apparently was minus 26 degrees. And Jordan, the Raziek, the Marth player, said he got out of the car. He felt like he was going to have frostbite in the amount of time that he was filling up the gas tank in like 3 minutes. But shout outs to Quebec for being like sub-zero temperatures. And I don't know, like Nova Scotia was there. They were all really cool. I chilled with them for a while. So shout outs to those guys, because they're super awesome. And they let me stay in their hotel one night, and we all had Denny's the next morning after the tournament, and it was really cool. In terms of competition, let's see. It was everybody that came. Obviously the U.S. players, me, Vinny, Doom, Blackanees, Logic, Nicole, MJG, Gimmer, and I think that was it for the American players, unless I'm forgetting anybody.
What did you place?
I placed 7th in singles, which is not so bad. There was 56 entrants, which was a little under what the turnout was expected to be, because a lot of people, I guess, dropped out last minute, because, I mean, even in Canada, the trip is so ridiculous. Just, like, everything is so far apart that it's not easy to get this stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
And me and Blacka actually placed 3rd in doubles, which was awesome.
I saw that. That was cool. I mean, I know
Yeah.
Blacka doesn't enter singles, but he's a beast in doubles. So.
He is a doubles god.
Yes.
And the top 3 for singles were Ally, Vinny, and MJG, actually. And MJG, when he was having some really close sets with Holy, that they were always going to time, and pretty much Holy was aiming just to time him out. So Holy's like, you know what? MJG was just like, you know what? I'm going to go Meta Knight. And it turned out that they ended up doing the ditto in their rematch, I believe, in losers, because MJG lost to him in winners. But in the rematch, he went Meta Knight, and it worked out for him. So
Good.
he ended up coming in 3rd. So good stuff to April. That was really impressive. But the more impressive part was doubles. I don't know if you guys saw anything about MJG and Nicole in doubles, but there's something about that team, man. I don't know.
What
You'll
did
see
they
it.
place first?
They came in 2nd, but they took a set off of Ally and Holy in grand finals.
Oh, right,
and they
obviously,
almost
forgot
beat
about
them
that.
in winners.
Forgot
It
about
was-
Ally.
Like, it was really crazy. They were doing extremely well versus double Meta Knight with Toon Link, Peach, and Peach Meta Knight.
Fucking Peach, man.
If only Mekos were on that stream.
Right.
He would just be spamming, team spacing, man. Because like that's what it was. They just kept the pressure on. They covered each other at all times. Like Nicole would like float in, look like she would be punished, float out, get covered by Toon Link. I don't know. It was cool. Really good stuff. They really looked like a top team. I don't know how much they've been teaming, but it's very impressive by them.
Sounds like a fun tournament. I wish I went just to like go for the ride.
It was really cool. Like I was even on commentary a little bit for myself at one point. Me and Black and Ease, yeah, we were commentating the set of Ally and Holy versus Nicole and MJG. It was cool.
Man, been waiting to commentate with Black for a while now. I'm just gonna go to a tournament just to commentate with Black at this point.
Because like he's pretty much on it at all times. If he's not like he's playing doubles, and then after that he'll just be on commentary.
What's the next tournament coming up?
I honestly don't know. Like, I don't think there's anything this weekend.
Well, there is Melee Marvel tournament that D1 is hosting, but that's Melee, not Brawl. That's at Next Level Arcade. I think I'm going with Doom to that. But for Brawl, I actually don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna like have to get in touch with Vinny and find out, because he always knows.
We should have a Vinny Fest too, man. I mean,
shout outs to Vinny, by the way. By the time this is like uploaded and everything, it's probably not going to be anymore. But today's Vinny's birthday, so happy birthday to Vinny.
Happy birthday to Vinny, definitely. Did he play?
What do you mean? Did he play?
Didn't he quit Brawl?
No, man, that was like for a day.
Well, like, he's very trendy.
He was super serious about it for that one day, and I didn't even say anything. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a good decision for him. Like, I'm not going to be judgmental at all. The next, like, he broke his Brawl disc and everything. Yeah. The next day, he's like, yeah, I'm a Brawl monster again. I was like, Jesus.
Well, that's good to hear. I'd rather him be a Brawl monster than not a Brawl monster. So
he's put so much time into the game that it's basically like a guaranteed paycheck for him if he shows up at a tournament. Like, he's that good, and he plays second. And completely forgot about the first hype, possibly one of the most hype parts of the whole tournament.
Okay.
Was Canada versus USA crew battle.
Oh, I saw you guys destroyed Canada.
It was so hype because like I was a little upset because they wanted to put me in first. I was like, but then I don't get to counter pick to Yoshi's Island. Like that's like the guaranteed like hard counter. Like, send Will in on Yoshi's, and there's nothing they can do about it. But, like, I don't know. They decided to put me in first for, like, the gimmick factor. And I guess it kind of worked because I've never played Holy's Meta Knight or Ally's Meta Knight before, somehow. And I ended up playing them both, and I don't know. Somehow I took 4 stocks. I took off one Ally's stocks, like, while he was just about to take out my first stock. And then Vinny comes in and takes out, like, 6 more. So just between me and him, we took out 10 stocks, which was pretty awesome.
What was it, 5-on-5? Or how many people were on the
I believe
crew?
It was 5-on-5. It was me, Vinny, I believe. Then we sent in Logic. Then we had MJG, and we also had Blood Cross. But we never even got to Blood Cross.
Poor Blood Cross.
It was Ally, Holy, Alphakins, T.O. Joe, and Tin Man. And all I have to say is that as the crew battle went on, like, it was super hype in the beginning. And then when Vinny didn't lose any stocks versus Ally's Meta Knight, and Ally, like, rage quit on the chin grab on the last stock, it just became very, like, just America trash-talking Canada, like, the whole time. It was pretty funny. And then when it came down to MJG versus Tin Man, Tin Man has 1 stock left. MJG takes him to FD with Toon Link. And we were all just, like, guessing as to how, like, what absurd way he could end the crew battle. And I was like, yo, you should bomb to double hit down smash into, like, footstool dare spike or something. And we were just, like, all, like, hypothesizing what would happen. And nobody could possibly imagine the most amazing way for it to end. And all I'm going to say is that you have to watch it, because it was really, really funny, and we all died laughing. But
you'll have to link me or something. That sounds ridiculous.
I don't know, like, if the crew battle was actually streamed live. I don't know if there was Wi-Fi or what. How did you end up watching everything? Did you watch like the recording the next day or
Yeah.
later on? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was amazing, and I want to tell you right now, that's how funny it was.
Well, I wish I was there. That sounds like a really fun time, actually.
It was cool.
I mean, like I said, I would have gone, but like college, you know.
The only downside is that we wanted like to have more extracurriculars outside the tournament, but being that the Super Bowl was the next day, we all kind of had to linger around, stay together, go to the pub, watch the game. We didn't really get to sightsee in Toronto like a lot of us probably wanted to.
Toronto's nice. I've been to Toronto twice. And I like that city.
Dude, it was beautiful. It was so awesome. It's like, imagine Times Square, like where we got off at the the coach terminal in Toronto. Where we got off, it looked like Times Square, like when it was first constructed. It was so clean. It was so nice. It was really, really awesome, and I wish I could go back and like spend more time there and go shopping.
Spend more money.
Yes, I wanted to.
But definitely. I love Toronto. I really do. Went there for a tournament once, and we were the only American team, and we got shit on.
Is that for gears?
For hockey.
For hockey, awesome.
Yeah, it was back like when I was younger, and they teach kids how to check at like an earlier age, and we were getting like pooped on. Like it was pretty bad. Like we lost the game like 10-1, and I was starting goalie. I was like, well, yeah. But,
well, I guess a couple of my final shout outs for Revival of Salt would be, I finally met. There was a bunch of DK mains there. It was weird. There was like America. There's like no DKs. In Canada, they're like nothing but DKs. Like I don't know. It's weird.
Did you find Mech Warrior there? Because I haven't seen him forever.
I did not. I don't believe.
Do they have
although
an ATM?
He probably has the money to go. He didn't go.
Do they have an ATM there?
Well, yeah.
Well, who is it?
Oh, did they have an ATM? Okay, I see what you mean. But no, I don't. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if I came across their ATM.
Every region must have one ATM.
I mean, it was a pretty upscale, like a high level tournament. I don't think there was really too many people that were willing to throw their money away. But
all right, if any Canadians are listening and you have an ATM, please let us know. So that way, when Revival Assault 2 comes, we know who to go to. Play, because I'm not trying to pay for entry fees. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get that Megabus for free,
pretty much.
Yo, shout outs to Mar1. I believe his full tag is Marmaton Killer. Like, that's a pretty crazy tag, but dude, this guy is by far probably the most underrated DK because nobody's ever heard of him. He's also definitely the most technical DK I've ever played or ever seen. Really? Because this guy grounded footstool combos me on Wi-Fi like it's his job, and he also does it out of tip or jab offline. Like on command. That's like a frame perfect thing, and you have to be like thinking about it before it even happens.
That's
for it to work, and he does it successfully. It's crazy. He's very, very smart player. He's very good. And I also met Attila, aka Jesse from Nova Scotia.
Oh.
And he's one of my bros now. According to him and the rest of Nova Scotia, I'm an honorary member of Nova Scotia.
That's fucking cool. I love Nova Scotia. One of
these days I have to go to Halifax and chill with those guys. I'm sure
I'll come with.
Maybe I could get. You should come with. Yo, Matt, you should come because they invited you and Krillin as well.
Dude, Nova Scotia's the best.
I can't believe they call. When we told them that his tag was Kieran Blaze, he was like, oh, Krillin. And then it just stopped. Like, they just call him Krillin. It's fucking hilarious.
They were drinking a lot of rum that night, though. A lot of it.
Yeah, they got pretty blasted, but it was very fun times at Apex with those guys. So shout outs to the new DKs. I mean, shout outs to Poke, whose full tag is Pokemaster1 on the DK boards, who's been spouting some frame data knowledge recently, and he's the one who informed the rest of the DK boards that DK can actually hit D to D with his down smash while standing on the battlefield platform when D is standing on the ground. You could space DK's down smash to hit him on the head. And Poke went D versus me round 1 in bracket at Revival of Salt. And it was like, I will infinite you. I was like, okay, I will plank and stay on the platforms, which I did, and I killed him with something that I learned from him. I killed him with down smash while standing on the platform, and I was like, "Thank you, Poke. You taught me that," and it was pretty funny.
It's always good to know.
But he also plays DK, but he has no shame because he won D2D versus me and tried to infinite. So.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Yeah, but no, everybody in Canada was super duper friendly. I'm sure there was a bunch more people I didn't get to meet, sadly, but there's only so much time in the day. You can't play everybody. Shout outs to Crucius, who is a hell of an entertaining guy. He's super funny. He's pretty buff. He's a good looking guy. He's apparently, I don't know if he's from Egypt. He's Egyptian. He lives in Canada, but he's been to Egypt, and he has a ton of stories, and he's super duper hilarious, and his snake is really fun to play. And I don't know, you guys have to meet him. That's all there really is to say. And other than that, T.O. Joe hosted an amazing, really fun event that for out-of-country players like me and the rest of the Americans, like, we didn't have to pay venue. We had free housing. So it was really, really, hospitable for us. So props to him for doing that and for the community. And I don't know, I like traveling. I'd definitely be down to go back to Canada, like, anytime. So.
Word.
So, yeah.
Sounds like
that was a
time. I wish I went, man. I mean, I'm trying to look for, like, now I'm like, damn, I want to go to a tournament now. And there's, like, nothing going on. There's, like, fatality.
Yeah, there really is.
No, there's, like, I'm looking at Smash where it's like Fatality 5, and, like, that's the only event.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, our area.
I know.
Unless you're down to go to Springfield. Like, if you want to pick me up for Springfield, I'll go.
I mean, Pelka hit me up. He wants me to team with him or something.
I would be down for that.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm going to MLG Columbus. Like.
Are you really?
Yeah, like the weekend after, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
What weekend is that?
That is the 23rd to the 25th. Yeah, it's the weekend after, so.
See, I would be down just to, like, come and go as well, just to, like, experience it, but I think that's my brother's birthday weekend.
Well, if it's not, come with.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay,
birthday
yeah.
23rd.
Yeah, I'm going for that. Gonna bring a sign and root for StarCraft people, because I gotta go to one of those, and, but, yeah, there's really nothing going on recently, which is really unfortunate, because, this is sort of like a dead season, I guess, for locals.
I mean, it was weird enough for there to even be a tournament as big as Revival Assault, like, a month after Apex. Like,
yeah.
There should be a pretty big lull from here out for, like, a month or so.
Yeah, I mean, Apex will do that. It's sort of like a high and low kind of thing. You got to recuperate a little bit. I'm sure people are still recuperating like a month. I mean, it's been a month. Like, like Apex, I'm pretty sure, ended a month ago exactly, as of this recording. So, which is crazy to think about, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. The month of January flew by for me. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, it definitely flew by for me. I can tell you that. Flew by. Jesus. Couldn't wait for it to be over. But speaking of time, I think it's time to talk about the other important thing about this. I almost don't want to say it, so I want someone else here to say it for me. So, Will, since you've been talking, I want Matt to say it.
Alright. So, as Will tells us his adventures of, Revival of Salt, and how it tells us about this world that not many of us even really know about, and Smash is obviously still a growing and vibrating thing.
Like
unfortunately, yes, like Dakota's penis. But unfortunately, Directional Influence as of this episode is coming to an end.
Oh, that made it sound so much worse. Damn. Yeah, this is the last episode.
Well, leave it to Matt.
Right? Leave it to Matt to say that. God damn it, Matt. This is why you're not on the show, to make it so morbid. But yeah, this is episode 55 is the last episode, and which is sort of ironic considering how epic Apex was. You'd think, wow, DI should be doing really well, and it is. I mean, we've had a great run. We started this back in August 2010, sort of on a whim, actually, when I realized that I wasn't ever going to be good enough at Brawl, so I figure I got to get my name out somehow. But then when I realized I can't do a podcast and not know anything, and I invited these guys on the show, and, I mean, yeah, we had a good run, but essentially how it stands is, VVV just dropped into Smash Division, and that has nothing to do with it. It was just sort of my logic behind it. So Smash is really not a focus of VVV anymore, but that wasn't part of the decision. But I'm moving on. I've been playing StarCraft. Allied's coaching me, so I'm trying to get good at StarCraft. Marvel been playing, and college has really been a factor for me. Plus, I was offered my and again, this wasn't part of the decision. Again, just part of the situation. My hosting position back at the losers bracket, which I have now taken. I am now officially on the losers bracket as a fighting game analyst kind of guy. So I will talk about Smash there a little bit. But StarCraft's been my big focus. College is sort of on my mind now, and I'm sort of moving on a little bit from Smash. I'll still be at tournaments though, probably not competing. If anything, doubles. But I'm terrible at the game, so I'm just commentating and having a good time, and still learning about the game and hanging out with all my friends. So I feel like doing this is like, wow, I'm done with Smash. I'm really not. I'm just sort of like I'm moving on. And these guys are, Will has 2 jobs now and is always a lazy motherfucker, and Matt plays LOL too much and has college as well. And then Will's, getting better at the game too, even though he can't place higher than 7th at the Canadian tournament, but I digress. Jab, jab, jab. But
I could have placed 4th with the way I was playing, but Tiojo stepped it up, and Holy was also standing in my way. But I definitely would have lost to Vinny, no matter what. So
yeah, but overall, I think we had a really good run. I think one of the great things about DI was that we did it for ourselves. It was something that nobody told us to do. Something that we wanted to do for fun, and I still find Smash really fun. But we're moving on as a team here, and I think I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Because I know you guys are sort of, this was more my decision than you guys. But
I feel like over the last couple of months, I honestly have not had very much time at all.
Yeah.
On the times that you would be free, I would definitely be totally exhausted and not be able to record, and I don't know. It's just a lot of just scheduling conflicts and stuff like that. But like you said, I think the outlet that we chose, this form of media, really hadn't been done before.
Definitely.
So I don't think it'll just end. We've kind of set the bar a little bit. Maybe someone else could pick up the same idea. Maybe there's another offshoot somewhere along the line. Who knows? I don't think it's just gonna die. Not this concept anyway. So
yeah, I agree. And I feel like there's so much room. I would love for someone to take up the reins. I'd love for you guys to continue if you'd want, though I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the legacy there is that we are leaving a really big open window for whoever wants to do what we're doing, and there'll still be contact coming from us. I'm sure. I know the guys at Juice are working on something really big, and I'm sure I'll be involved with that. And I'm doing things at VVV, so I think it's more of a step in the right direction. I think DI was really cool, and it sort of set a guide and a precedent for content in Smash, which is good. I remember a few months ago I was like, well, I don't even know when I'm gonna finish DI, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know if I want to get on and record this. I'm so fucking tired. But Matt, what about you?
Well, can't say I didn't see this coming. I can't say everybody else probably didn't see this coming. And just because we're not recording DI anymore doesn't mean we're not still DI.
Oh yeah,
we're all still, we're still a group as far as I'm concerned, and everybody should recognize us as a group with. I think we left at least somewhat of a legacy, and I had so much fun recording every single episode that I recorded. I had so much fun recording, even when I come home from class or whatever and I'm tired of shit, I didn't mind getting on and sort of, I guess, getting my thoughts out there and hearing other people's thoughts and just having a lot of fun, with friends, because
Definitely.
that's all we have on here are our friends, and we're not we're obviously not some sort of godly figures or anything. We're just everybody else, except we try to get as much information as possible out. And like Dakota said, I'm busy with school and stuff, but I as well am going to try and work on content and getting content out a little bit more, because it's just something I want to do. I might get in contact with Juice or something, but regardless, I'm going to try. But it's been so fun and awesome to hear. Like, you guys have no idea how amazing it's been after every episode to hear, the good job or the wow, I really enjoy your podcast. I think it's really awesome. Like, those comments are absolutely amazing to hear, and it's just something that it can't really be replicated. You can't replicate that feeling, really. Just to know that somebody appreciates your work. And I just want to thank everyone for listening, and I want to thank Directional Influence for being an outlet for me, in my Smash career.
Yeah, I mean, there have been times where I just like can't believe this is what it's come to. But I mean, I've loved the days where I've just sat down, like we just went to a tournament. I want to talk about it so bad, and like I said, I mean I want other people to do that too. But yeah, I mean it was a thing amongst friends, and I think that's what was really cool about that. And we'll definitely be producing content too. And I want to thank everybody who's listened to the show since day one, or scattered around there, and everyone who's been on the show too. We've had a ton of guests. I think we've had the most guests.
So many guests, but we've also had so many people that have like been dying to be on the show apparently that have never really been on as much.
I feel terrible about.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's another cool thing is that like everybody always wanted to be on the show, and we were like, what? Like really? You guys really want to be a part of this? That's awesome. And we just like we get all these guests on, try to cover as many topics as we can that are relevant with said guests. And I don't know. I feel like if everybody was interested in taking part in something like this, that interest will continue and will push onward towards something else where they'll want to be a part of that. So.
Yeah. And that's one of the worst things about doing this, because as you say that, I'm like, oh, I want to keep doing the show and have more guests on, talk to people. But
I know, because when was the last time all three of us actually got together to record for an episode?
Without a guest?
Like for real. Like, yeah, just us three.
Not in a while.
When is it? How long has it been? Like at least 3 or 4 months. Like, I don't know. That's what it feels like.
I feel like this calls for some sort of like physical get together.
I mean, obviously.
No, like seriously. Like, no, I'm saying like we need to like chill one weekend and just go over our lives the past year and a half, because I'm gonna miss it. I mean, I really will.
I mean, it's just, you guys have no idea like how amazing it feels to be like a part of something like this. And if you do, then God bless you, because it's something else. I gotta say that. And I mean, before DI, I had no idea who fucking Dakota was. There's some scrub from BBB that I saw at a tournament once, and I didn't even say one word to. I've met obviously Dakota. I mean, and I've just enjoyed the company of so many guests and become better friends with people because of that. And it's just been such an awesome experience. And even though it does suck that we kind of have to end it, it's just, I mean, I'd rather end it on a good note, or as good of possible as a note, than somewhere the stagnant episodes that we've been having lately, and
I agree.
All that stuff. And I mean, I really apologize for that. And I mean, I apologize that my voice is very monotone right now. But I mean, I'm relatively
like always. But
waking up, Johns.
I'm relatively somber right now, and I mean,
you have to be.
I just had class all day, so like just we don't really have the energy to continue anymore as much as we want to. So hopefully we're going to be able to get out some content that doesn't require all of us to be on, at the same time every night or something. Maybe we can bounce ideas back and forth to each other from something else, but yeah.
You know what? I feel like as long as I'm not going to be doing this, maybe I should put forth at least, I mean, I'm always going to tournaments still because I'm like a huge brawl monster, like one of the biggest brawl monsters out there aside from like Vinny. So, I mean, I feel like I can still put forth something, and as all the times I've been way too lazy to apply to such meaningless endeavors as the BBR and things like that, I feel like I would be a meaningful contribution, and I mean, would hope to possibly cancel out some of the failure that exists. Instead, like, there's been so much talk about things like All Is Brawl and like the moderators, and like it's going to like a site war between All Is Brawl and Smashboards again, and it's just ridiculous. And I feel like if I'm contributing myself this much to the game, still that maybe I should hold some sort of authoritative position because I'm not like retarded and I like actually know how the game works
That's
and
what
stuff
you're
like
saying.
that. I'll shut up. But I don't know. And I don't know. I was told recently that like I wasn't aware that I could just go on for days about matchups for like DK versus every character, which was obvious because I played him for 4 years. So I don't know. Maybe I'll start making some threads and write like bare bones guides on matchups, just straight up, just everything you could possibly. I don't know. Like I don't know who would be interested in reading that. That's like the thing about why I've never written any threads on Smash boards because I feel like nobody would really care to read it. Because back in the day, before I started placing well, I would try to contribute a lot, and it didn't seem like people either like read it or cared or noticed. And then when you start placing well and people start like meat riding you a little bit, it's just like, well, yeah, now everything I say you're gonna pay attention to. So I was like a little butthurt that they weren't paying attention before then. So I just kind of got a little spiteful, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Character match. Matt knows all about it with the Marth boards. Like,
Yeah,
there comes a point where like you contribute, like you're like spiteful, like nobody cares what you're saying, and it's just like they don't respect it enough. I don't know.
it's just something that we've experienced over since 2008, playing the game. I mean, honestly, I might have talked about it before, but me and Will started playing Smash in a fucking card shop back room at a local tournament, and I met Will, and I'm like, wow, this DK is really good. And from there, we grew as players. Obviously, he grew better to be a better player, or more well-known player than I did. But still, like this
I
just
also
sort
entered singles.
Oh yeah,
You probably have to do that to get known for results. I think entering the tournament is a good idea. To be honest, I've seen that works about 100% of the time. Entering the tournament does.
Even if you're Mech Warrior or Tony T.
I mean, they're more known than you in some parts. How does that make you feel?
They're nationwide known for their
nationwide ATM.
their endeavors.
I'd rather be not known like that personally.
Oh, that's cool.
To be fair, I mean, even though this ends a chapter for us, I mean, I'm gonna try to at least keep growing as a player. I mean, I'm obviously not perfect. I hope to grow as a commentator as well. Hoping to do commentary in the future. Hopefully, I don't sound as monotonous as now.
Who knows? When the next Smash comes out, Dakota will probably be hyped as all fuck. Be like, oh my god, we got to start another podcast for the new Smash.
I mean, it could happen.
We already know it's probably going to happen.
It's probably going to happen. I would say that I would say 100% DI will come back when Smash 4 shows up.
If the game is competitive worthy.
Oh yeah, if the game's some bullshit casual game, no. Fuck you guys. I don't need to make DI for a casual fucking game, no. But, I mean, if it's a solid competitive game, and, I mean, at that point, if I'm not a StarCraft 2 pro, which I probably will be because I'm like working mad hard at it, but if I'm not, or if I have the time where I'm good enough where I don't need to practice like as much, but then again, I StarCraft, so I have to. But if it's a good competitive game, I would say DI 100% DI will be back for Smash 4 in like 5 years. So,
actually have a first concept like of what the first episode could be, because you already know Ninja Link had that shit. He has that shit already, and he's coming up with some new tech right now.
Oh yeah, he already has the game.
Like, some like live stream
he's figuring
like
it out as we speak.
Tips from Ninja Link for the new Smash. Like I already had known that shit since like 2010.
I mean, like when we were at Fordham, when he was taking his fight stick out, I saw the Wii U controller pop out of his backpack, and he was like, "I'm like, what is that?" He's like, "Oh, nothing." I'm like, dude, that guy's trying to practice and everything.
Secret tech.
He has it. Like guys, all you need to do is petition to Nintendo that competitive Smash lives and DI will live as well. That's your motivation, is what it comes down to. But as of right now, I think DI it is 100%. This will be the last episode of this installment of DI, which is a sad thing to say, but it must be done. And we've had a really good run since August 2010. We've been doing this, give or take. We missed a few weeks here and there, but we were pretty as consistent as possible, I would say.
So you know what that means? That means I'm gonna have to hit up Wes and SOS Gamers I'd be a really big part of that. Maybe I will have time to commit to that. Probably not, but like if I do, if I find out Wes is going to E3 and all these people are dropping out on Japan, I don't
If
know.
you're going to E3, I mean, I'll go. Like, I would love to make an E3 trip again, as much as like
Well, I mean, there were prerequisites for that. I'm pretty sure like the actual website that was hosting said podcast had to be active for like the previous like at least month or 3 months or something.
yeah,
Is that
but
what
we
it
also
was?
got Rich Brown in on like a few All Is Bro articles, like on the so
that's
like
true.
like
But
I
is
think
it
they let
worth
anyone in.
traveling across the country for a chance to get into E3 that is not
Dude, I'm
guaranteed?
sure if we figured it out now, we could probably get our passes now if we really wanted to go. Like we
DI
could.
at E3 hype.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
there's it's a pretty high chance that the next Smash will be like either playable. Like I'm gonna say playable at the next E3.
I wouldn't
Like
say that.
you
No.
wouldn't say that because
No.
they mentioned like a title of it at the last E3. Like that was it.
Yeah,
So maybe
but
they'll have like a trailer if anything.
I don't think it's that. I would say next like 2013 or 14 would be the minimum you'd see Smash even announced.
Really?
Yeah. There's no way it's gonna be at this one.
Hmm.
We were really hyped to see it at last E3, and all we got was a oh hey we're making it,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even at the on the show floor. It was just
Well,
like at the press
I guess
conference.
I could see a teaser trailer then.
Ooh.
That would
if I-
probably be about it then.
I'm waiting to see Ridley there next Meta Knight, calling it. He has wings. He can glide, man. I'm sure he could come up with something gay.
Yo, how hype is Soul Calibur 5 right now? Like,
It's
I
mad
watched a
hype.
stream of it today, and like some Astroth named like Press was getting off on Unknown, who's like an MVC player, and like I think the Unknown was using the guy from Assassin's Creed. Like, I don't know.
Ezio?
Yeah. And he was getting bodied. Like this stealthy like assassin dude in this awesome like hood is getting bodied by some giant like mechanical skinned Astroth with like red
Yeah,
eyes.
he does have like a Terminator skin.
It was really cool looking, and he was just like stunning. He like hit him once and stunned him with something, and then just stunned him with everything else, and it was like
Yeah.
0 to death.
Yeah,
that game's ridiculous.
It looks really fun.
It is kind of ridiculous.
It's a kind of ridiculous game. But anyway, so we're gonna wrap this up because it's I just want to get it over with. I just want a huge shout out to VVV Gaming for hosting the show over 55 episodes. All of the guests that have been on the show since day one. Even though we didn't have a guest day one, but even back at the first episode where we talked about which stages should be legal or not, when I vouched for Big Blue to be a legal fucking stage, and to this day it is not a legal stage. So clearly precedents were not set. And of course, you guys for being on the show with or without, I mean, I was on every episode except one, and I wanted to go through every episode and be on every one, but I couldn't have that happen. But clearly, you guys didn't have the same motivation. Nevertheless, I mean, I couldn't have done the show without you guys, and I mean, we're probably just two of my best friends from doing this stupid Smash show about randoms. At least me talking about a game that many people hate, but it was definitely worth it. So I want to thank you guys for being on the show, and thanks to everyone who listened. And DI will be back if Smash 4 is good. That definite.
I will have to say, Dakota, you at first you were a very, very persistent character, and I was like, all right, I'll give this podcast a try, and over time you definitely grew on me. Like, it's with the personality like yours, it's hard at first. You're very overbearing and persistent, and just like, yo, I want to do this, like very, very, inspired, just like beyond anything I could possibly imagine. That's like, you're so inspired. Like, I actually don't understand why, but I mean, it's been a positive influence on my life. So again, I thank you very much for letting me be a part of this, and just for all the times we had and all the travels and whatnot. So thanks for that. I appreciate it, bro.
No problem, man. Matt, what about you? I want more compliments.
Well, I'm obviously gonna thank Dakota for letting me be on the show. For those of you who don't know, I got on this show through Will. Dakota was like, "Hey, Will, do you know if we could use like a third person for this podcast? Do you know anyone who's knowledgeable about Smash?" And Will's like, and he just he asked me if I wanted to be on it, and I thought it was a cool idea, so I jumped on this show, and it's given me amazing opportunities, and I'm so glad I met Dakota because he's such an awesome person. I mean, at first your cocky personality, like Will said, was a little a little overwhelming. But
My apologies.
no, it's what makes you you, and it's grown on me as well. So I definitely, thanks to Dakota for hosting the show and teaching me how to host the show that one time that I did.
Oh yeah,
And,
definitely. You learned how to podcast. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, and I've had so much fun and so much enjoyment to have this outlet of whatever the hell I want to say, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that if it was at August 2010, that one day when I was watching the X Games and like I should do a podcast about Smash Bros, I wouldn't want to do it any other way. So, but with that, this is the final time we'll be signing out. We'll play that music one more time for you guys, episode 55, and you guys won't be seeing us next week or whenever else that we say we're going to be on and then we aren't, which is unfortunate for recording purposes. But I want to thank you guys for listening to the show. We'll see you guys when Smash 4 comes out, and we'll see you guys at tournament. Feel free to give us autographs or ask for one. Even though giving us an autograph would be really nice.
That would be nice, just to come up to us and be like,
dude, I got this autograph from like Peyton Manning. Do you want it? Yeah, hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. Thank you. But thank you very much for listening, guys. We mean it a lot. It really does. And we'll see you guys in about 5 years when Smash 4 comes out. Directional Influence will be back for episode 56. With that, we're signing out. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week on Directional Influence.